There are new discrimination allegations against one of the Bay Area's largest utility companies. Two former East Bay MUD attorneys are suing, alleging retaliation, discrimination, as well as a hostile work environment. ABC 7 News I-Team reporter Melanie Woodrow has the story.
According to a lawsuit filed by two former East Bay MUD attorneys, in 2018, the district's legal department hadn't hired a minority candidate in more than 16 years, or an African-American candidate in more than 22 years.
Even though we're located in Oakland, in one of the most diverse communities in the United States.
SAJI Pierce was an attorney at East Bay MUD for nearly 18 years. She says she filed an internal complaint alleging race discrimination in March of 2019 after candidate AYRIEL Bland was passed over for a job at East Bay MUD, even though, according to the lawsuit, the interview panel, which included Pierce, unanimously ranked Bland as the #1 candidate.
I took my ethical duties very seriously.
I know she feels like she had an ethical duty to do this, but not everyone makes that a hard decision to do the right thing.
A year later, East Bay MUD invited Bland to apply again. She was hired and began in July of 2019, according to the lawsuit.
To me, I was very excited at the opportunity.
But Bland says in the approximately year and a half she worked at East Bay MUD, she was treated in a grossly discriminatory fashion based upon her race, including being given a heavier workload, denied an equal opportunity to attend training, and other employment benefits.
I was placed in the library. I didn't even have an office. I was in that library for a couple of months.
The lawsuit alleges Bland's supplies came from a garbage bin and junk drawer, whereas white attorneys were allowed to order new supplies.
I was denied the basic ability to do my job.
In April of 2020, Bland filed a discrimination complaint against East Bay MUD's former general counsel, Craig Spencer. 5 months later, the lawsuit alleges Spencer accused Bland of having a conflict because she was a member of the Black Employee Network, an affinity group within East Bay MUD.
I felt compelled to say that I was an attorney first and Black second. I feel like I had to do that to keep my job and assure this person who's in control of my performance evaluations that I'm not this adversarial, angry Black woman.
According to the lawsuit, in November 2020, an HR investigation found Spencer had unconscious racial bias toward Bland, but that he did not violate any district policies. In November 2020, Pierce resigned.
I was put in a position where I had no other choice but to leave.
Bland also resigned, leaving East Bay MUD the month after Pierce.
On one hand, I had so many African-American employees telling me that they were so proud to see someone that looked like me sitting there, but it did take a severe emotional, physical, and mental toll on my body.
In an emailed statement, East Bay MUD told ABC 7 News it took the claims of its former employees very seriously and went above and beyond in addressing them. Also that it believes the legal claims are unfounded, writing in part, quote, "We are deeply committed to an environment where our employees who provide water and wastewater services to our East Bay community feel respected, valued, and supported. We strive every day to improve the experiences of all our employees and to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion."
It's not just something that SAJI and I experienced.
We know that what happened to us is part of a larger problem at the district.
A cultural survey commissioned by East Bay MUD by the Winters Group in April 2020 found throughout interviews and focus groups multiple instances of institutional and personal bias against Black, African-American, Hispanic, Latinx, and Asian employees were shared, which could indicate that racial bias is widespread throughout East Bay MUD. The district tells ABC 7 News the survey's insights continue to advance the district's efforts to foster a welcoming and equitable work environment for all employees. Pierce and Bland say they are sharing their story for the people who are still at the district and for ratepayers.
This is what your funds are being used for, against diversity.
For the I-Team, Melanie Woodrow, ABC 7 News.
Coca-Cola is